As you probably know, George W. Bush recently picked Dick Cheney to be his vice presidential running mate, and as a result of this coupling, we have the very first Bush and Dick ticket in the history of American politics. With us on the phone to discuss this is Ted Turnbuckle. He's a political science professor at George Washington University. Good morning, Mr. Turnbuckle.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Well, what I'm calling about actually kind of refers back to how you said Bush and Dick.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You a little pause there.
Yeah.
And you were about to make fun of it, weren't you?
Well, just it almost does it in itself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, as you may know, many people are finding humor in the fact that Bush and Dick have recently joined together and become as one. But politics is no laughing matter.
No.
And this is what I'm here to say.
Right.
I want people to know that there's nothing funny about the names of the men who may end up becoming president and vice president of the United States.
Right.
So just as there's nothing funny about George Bush and Dick Cheney running together this year, there was nothing funny when Jerry Longschlong and Marvin Hay ran together in 1984. Do I hear laughing?
No, sir. I was just clearing my throat.
And contrary to popular opinion, there was nothing amusing about when Tom Pink Pencil and Bill Fuzzy Taco ran together in 72.
No.
I was also personally offended when people made light of the time when Newt Trouser Mouse picked Vince Furburger to be his running mate. just not funny.
No.
Not funny at all. They were a great political team.
Right.
I almost quit teaching when people refused to stop joking about the fact that Ted Baloney Pony and Paul Meat Curtains nearly won the Republican nomination in 76. Almost quit teaching.
How is Mr. Meat Curtains?
He's out of politics now. Mr. Meat Curtain, he's in the private sector. I believe he's a comptroller in Riverside.
Always important.
Yes. And to this day, I still see nothing funny about Joe, heat-seeking moisture missile, picking Bert Nappy Dugout to be his running mate in 58. They were a wonderful
It's a great ticket. I remember that one.
Yes, frankly, I was ashamed to be an American when people were making fun of Gary Lovemuscle, his decision to pick Ed Cameltoe as his vice president in 60.
It made it rough.
And in 1980, I fully expected Harry Beefstick and Ed Yummy Cronk to be our next president and vice president, instead the object of ridicule of millions of Americans. It's just a shame, you know?
All right, it is.
Now, there are a lot of things in this world that are funny. However, the fact that Ken Engorged Member and Chuck Beavermuff were running mates in 68 is not one of them. Well, I have to go. We just had our student elections, and I have to go count the ballots to see if Steve Python of Pleasure and Randy Vertical Smile won as large a margin as most people expected. So thank you very much for your time.
Listen, thank you, Mr. Turnbuckle. And
let's show Bush and Dick respect, is what I'm saying.
Yes, let's.
They could be the next leaders of the most powerful nation in the world.
Yeah, the Bush and Dick ticket.
The Bush and Dick ticket.
It's going to be nice.
Let's say it without a smile, shall we?
We will.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Mr. Ted Turnbuckle, professor there at the university. Well, we'll do business.